You know what I mean? Technically.
So no milk in tea is not right.
No, milk and tea is terrible.
Milk and tea is gross.
Yeah.
What? How can...
Milk and tea is super gross.
Green tea?
Tea is meant to be transparent. You're not supposed to be able to, like, tea is supposed to be see-through.
No, that's
but
green
milk and tea, and it's, huh?
Oh my god, that's green tea.
So D&D, huh?
Even black tea, it's gross.
Just made some nice armor. Hooey.
I'm sorry, I can't work with these.
We now have a complete America-Britain divide in this room.
Yeah.
Listen. We had the Boston Tea Party, so we can educate you on how
I know what it is. I know what it is.
Okay.
Your tea blends must be bad. That's all it is. We'll ship you over
our
some
tea what blends?
PG tips, some rubbish. Yeah, tea blends.
You have to water
fair-
your tea down with milk. So.
To be fair,
It's not watering it down, it's
I
milking it down.
I do buy shitty like.
Just saying.
Milking it down doesn't make any sense.
Like this is Lipton. Nope. This one's Salada.
We'll send you over some Yorkshire Gold, mate.
I have a lot of tea.
So you're in Northampton. You just made some armor. Oh, it was good. Is there anything you wanted to talk about before you went back down to see Leo Bialystok?
Yeah,
tea.
Vale, tell me when to stop pouring this milk into your tea.
Oh, you're ruining that. You're ruining that delicious
fine.
beverage.
That's great.
Yeah, just a little bit.
There you go.
I have a feeling like sometime in the near future we're gonna make a friend that agrees with me that you are ruining that beverage right there.
Oh,
that's a very strange assumption, but one yeah.
Well, they are very strange as well.
I think Melody knows what tea is.
I don't know.
She's friends with a fae.
This is true.
Yeah, Melody.
Her tea might be a lot more muddy than most people's.
Actually, Melody would probably, given that she's friends with a fae, Melody would probably be like, very picky about her tea. It would be like, needs honey and
honey fresh from the bees.
Yeah.
Melody's like fruit infusion.
So, you just had your armor done. I assume you're going back down to Leo Bialystok with the manuscripts and everything planned out. And then you're off to leave.
15% increase for Vale. And then a few other like minor things.
Minor tweaks. You would have just changed a bunch of wording and stuff to make it like the proper legal way.
Do you want me to make some sort of check?
No. That makes sense for stuff you know. So you go down there. I don't think there's anything you need to discuss beforehand. Everything is pretty sorted. So, you head back down there, and you're allowed back into his office. You head back into his office, like... Dean, stop. You're being really distracting right now with that.
Look at it!
Oy vey. You head back to Leo Bialystok. He opens the door. He doesn't shake all your hands like before. He's just like, "Oh, have you got it? You got everything done for me? You done your manuscript?" And you come back with a contract. And I assume he kind of looks at it like, "You've had a little look-see-loo, haven't you? You know, I know you know." What do you change? Just throw me the changes. Throw them at me. I can take it.
Well,
so I
to one of them and goes, "This man's strange."
Wow.
Don't mind her. She's no harm. Listen, I found a few changes on here that we think are extremely important, and so I wrote them into the contract. But honestly, Vale, do you mind explaining this stuff to him so he can go over it?
Well,
pass the charisma check to you.
Sally made this suggestion that in my line of work there is an associated amount of danger, and as such, danger pay should be something that I would have within my contract. There are also a couple of other minor changes here and there, but that would be the only major one that I think would require your agreement.
He kind of looks over it and is like, I know what you're saying. Go ahead, Vale. Give me that charisma check. Persuasion.
Yeah. Please be as good as the one with...
I forgot to give you advantage. I'm so sorry. I forgot advantage. I'm sorry. Sorry, I forgot to say it.
Can I assist in any way?
Not now.
I go, and he's right, you know.
But I understand your pains, but 100 gold. you know how much 100 gold is, right? This is a huge investment. 15% on top of that. This is gonna add up. You don't know how we could keep this play going for a long time. You're an elf. You could live for hundreds of years. We could be. This deal could pass on to my children. God forbid I have children.
I'm sorry, but any play that's longer than 3 acts, do you really want?
I'm talking sequels, baby.
No, he decided it would be like a continuous play. That the viewers would come back to view every week in the theater. Well, not every week, obviously, because there's production issues. But
you come back, you see the new things.
It's a very interesting theory. Obviously, there's going to be seasons of it because we have to work everything out in between, and it keeps going.
And I'm sure that Gil will live just as long enough to keep writing all these parts, right? Human, right?
Yeah. You'd have to remind me of mortality. Thank you.
I'm talking to him, not you, Gil. Why aren't you a part of this negotiation? Yes, but I was talking to... We ruined this, didn't we?
Hey, no, it's okay, Gilwyn. He, pats his hands like, I don't live very long, too, so it's okay. They're gonna be doing enough gallivanting long before I'm a corpse, probably in this chair because of all the tax paperwork I have to do. Huh. But, I've been looking over these changes, and I think... And he kind of, just folds the paper and, puts it away. I think we're going to go with the original contract. If that's okay with you, I'm already paying you a huge amount. And, things might not go well. Things might change later on if this ends up being a good deal,
I'm willing to sign.
Oh, yes, that's I think that's fine with us. It was just a suggestion that we thought might be appropriate.
I'm willing to take all the suggestions you got, baby. You're gold. You're literally gold.
Holly. Was I supposed to make an investigation or something to see if there was anything underhanded in there?
No, you already did that.
Okay,
you didn't even need to do it with that check
so.
because it was...
Nah, Ollie was so chill about it. He was like, this guy's golden, mate. Nothing needed.
Sign.
Yeah, he offers it for all of you to sign. Straight up as a pen, it's not even a quill. He signs, I imagine Vale signs, Gilwyn signs. Melody? What does Melody do?
Who's got the fanciest signature? Obviously not Melody.
Probably
Melody probably doesn't. Melody can't write, so
you got to sign.
Well, if someone else, she would just look around confusedly.
Would you look at the other signatures and just do a scroll?
Melody, do a squiggle, go up, down, not that much, only go up halfway.
No, when Vale's saying this, if Vale tries to say this to her, she actually turns to Gil and sort of looks to him questioningly, should I go with what he's saying?
He's like Vale's talking to her, and she just goes,
yeah.
away.
No, go ahead, Melody. Whatever Vale says, do that.
Okay.
This is called an M.
It's like just a scroll. There's the M is kind of legible, and the rest is like.
Yeah, clearly Vale sort of gave up after the first letter.
It was more like you gave up as well.
That's a sign.
The M is actually.
Finally, my signature. I'll take the quill. GG, no re. There we go. It's perfect.
Okay. The worst. Sometimes I wonder why I have you here.
I knew there's a reason.
Yeah, he wanted a damn memeing on my team. He kind of looks over and is like, this all looks good. So, with the payment, and he gets he starts sort of ruffling around. You hear him like ruffling under the desk and like, yeah, and this one's like, I'm not giving him that one, and kind of pops up. It's one coin purse with 400 gold in it, which is a lot of money. And then he goes, your friend that I'm taking, the person who wants them in Lichvale, I already sent them a message. They're willing to pay you some gold when they get there. I don't know the exact pricing. You don't really want to talk exact prices over letters.
Leo, we are working together now. We don't have to worry. There's trust. There's a bond. There's swords in the future for me, very expensive swords. We don't have to worry about this all now.
Exactly.
We'll come to it later.
There's always time later. And then he looks at Gilwyn. Unless there isn't.
Oh, Jesus.
Anyway, you can check. It's real gold. It's real gold. It's all my profits from my other ventures. So this should all be good. You should get Dragon Crest Hotel. You go and pick up my friend. Take her to Lichvale.
It was the Grand Dragon Hotel.
I get those two confused quite often. You really shouldn't have two dragon hotels. But I get it. Everyone likes dragons. Dragons are hot, baby. Unless the ones that are cold.
Indeed. You know, there is an old dragon's cave up on the mountainside.
Really? Really? I should learn that.
Yes.
Oh, and he kind of starts
you read
like
about it
scrolling
in the
something
next
down.
manuscript.
Oh, I like that. I told him he's good. He's good. He's not talking to anyone. He's talking to like Gilwyn, kind of.
I'm looking for grey hairs in like
A
shiny
mirror.
silver cup or something.
Oh yeah.
So, I do have to inquire. Huh?
Yes.
To him about his clothes. Like, huh?
Oh, you know, I was gonna say something about it. You were making this? He said someone was making him an outfit.
Oh, yes.
I like it. I like it a lot. It's spiffy. It's spiffy. And you know what? It's good because we could make a replica that's worse quality in every way. And it'd be great for costuming.
Yes, excellent.
What do you think about the coloration of it? Don't you think the colors are wonderful and they really bring out his eyes?
They do bring out his eyes. He's got great eyes. I told him, you know, if I looked in those eyes, I'd fall in love with him. I'd lose myself. That's why I don't look him directly in the eye. You know, you gotta be careful about that. You gotta be careful. Man could be an incubus for all I know, but you know what? He's charming.
Never looked him in the eye since. All our business dealings, never looked me in the eye.
Not exactly in the eye. You gotta look like at the nose or something, you know?
He's like a nymph meets Medusa, you know?
I like this. I think that is it. We will hand out the gold.
Go off to Lichfair. I know you want to go there, and you know, taking my friend there, it's just gonna help you out. You know, get a little bit of extra cash on the side, a little bit to give you some good stories. Some good stories. You write me a hell of a story, Gilwyn Galagher.
Oh, Leo, thinking about this for the name. Imagine this.
I'm imagining.
Gilwyn Galagher presents Where the Sun Don't Shine. Because it's an eclipse. And the sun doesn't shine.
Yes.
Oh! When you're good, you're good. Gilwyn Galagher, you, my friend, you got the goods.
Yeah.
All right, now get out of here. Go see my friend. Go take her out of here. Take her to dinner. She probably take you to dinner. She's good at food, but you know.
Yes, I am interested to hear whether these baked goods will survive a journey to Lichvale.
I think she's being hired to bake something when she gets there, so, you know, maybe you'll get something when you're done.
I see.
People like good cooks. They like a talented chef in a specialized, you know, area. That's big money. That's surprisingly big money, you know. I always thought, you know.
Speaking of money, 100 gold for everyone. Melody, this is 100 gold pieces. It is a lot of money. You're not to give it to anyone for free, unless Gilwyn asks you for it, yes? But you can use it to buy things you might want, like food.
Why buy food?
Think of them like spears to kill an animal with.
Your woman friend is simple in the head, right? You know?
No, she's...
No, he's like whispering to Gilwyn while you're having this conversation.
You need 6 spears for 1 cow. So that's 6 gold pieces.
She'll make an interesting story.
For some beef, sure. Yes?
Why buy food? Why trade spears for food? Can use spears to...
I'm going to take it out of her hand and put it into Gilwyn's hand as I walk by.
Yeah, to leave.
She doesn't make any move to it to object.
She understands.
Yes, that's probably a wise idea, actually, Sammy.
Melody, Leo, she's interesting. She's very interesting.
You know, I'll tell you what. She is interesting.
Melody, this is yours, okay? Tell me if at any time you need it, but for now, I will hold on to it for you.
Yes, Melody understands. She still looks confused, but she's just trusting Gil at this point.
As it was Pascal, he's like, she's never asking for that.
Yeah, probably. I'll put the 100 gold into my pouch if it fits.
No, assumedly your coin pouch always houses the amount of gold you have is just...
Yeah.
You can always convert it down to up to electron pieces.
Oh, my coin purse is pretty... Anyway, let's go.
So yeah, you head out to the Grand Dragon Hotel on the other end of on the other side of the river. unless you want to do anything else first.
I will go buy any sort of woodwind instrument from anywhere.
Sure. They don't cost much. They don't cost
There's
much.
a random guy on the side of a street with like a really grimy, mangy looking float, and he's like, "Smear of gold for an old minstrel." And you go, "I'll give you 2 for the pipe." And he goes, "Here you are." And it's like still wet around the rim, and there's all sorts stuck to it.
A good flute costs 2 gold.
That's good.
You probably go into like,
with that gold
you probably
box,
walk
wasn't
through a market and pick up like from like a.
Okay, now Melody, remember you have 98 gold from that man.
She nods, still looking confused.
Damn it! I thought that would have got it.
All right. So you're probably walking through this market. Actually, you would, because on the other side of on the south side of the Halfling district is like one of the grand markets of Northampton. I'm fairly sure it's a market day. So you would go by, pick this up, maybe look at some other things on the way to the hotel. And I explicitly say hotel, not a tavern, like an actual proper hotel for nobles and wealthy people and people who have more money than you, even after your payday. So You step in, and there's a mosaic of a dragon of some kind on the ground, very like artistic and snake-like.
Pleasant.
And in like the main room, and there's a couple of people talking. This is the kind of place there's actually like a couple of bodyguards, but their armor's like very polished and clean. Just assuming it's like in-house protection in case anything goes wrong. And basically servants who you'd probably want to ask about.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Me and my friends here have been sent by a Mr. Leo to collect a Kim for a journey to Litvale.
Kim. She kind of goes over to her desk and looks through like a ledger. I was like, Kim Butterdome?
That sounds. Is she a
It's a
baker?
Gilwyn.
Yes, I believe she is a pâtissier, a pastry chef.
And her last name is Butterdome.
Yes.
That's convenient. Yes, that's probably her.
If I believe she just went
too
into
convenient.
through that into the main hall there for afternoon tea.
Okay.
I could go for afternoon tea with milk.
Oh, definitely with milk. Absolutely.
All right, well done for that one. I've given you some respect for that one. So you go through, and maybe you ask. In fact, this attendant will actually go through and lead you. You lead into a hall, and it's a beautiful hallway with there's fancy people eating in fancy clothes. Leads you over to a halfling who is having afternoon tea, little sandwiches, little cakes and things. She is a sweet little halfling woman with blonde hair, and standing beside her, like not sitting, is Aaron. Why don't you describe who this person is?
Sure. She is a smaller half-elf, with the slightly pointed ears, but she looks all too human to be like totally an elf. She's very pale, and she has stark like white hair, like bright, almost like purple-hued eyes. She's just pretty formally, like in a dress, and she has a dagger at her side.
Salny, give me a perception check, but you have disadvantage because you're Salny and you're not paying attention.
Just for the record, I'm holding Melody's hand as I tend to do when we're in places like this.
Sid,
I imagine she's getting a few looks, to be honest.
Oh yeah, Sid, you kind of look for a bit, and maybe when you notice this person, you notice that is actually fairly high fashion in Bastillion. You've been there before. Not high fashion, but like that is the style in Bastillion. Because you note it because when you were there, it's very not warm for a very cold climate. Because a lot of the people who live there are tieflings.
Can you give me the color of the clothing she's wearing?
Kind of teal blue. If you actually remember, I uploaded a picture of her fairly recently.
Was that her?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
Oh, popping into Discord.
And if you find it, get the link and put it in the chat.
Yeah, sure, I'll do that.
You would recognize that as just like a random bit of knowledge. Is like, oh,
She also has a spell book.
Is she like holding it, like casually?
She's holding it, yeah. Mm-hmm.
You probably notice these people go up before Kim does.
That is super cool. I like it. However, it looks
that's
like
that's not it. That's the wrong person by a long shot, Scott.
Oh, this one.
That's like just.
You said tiefling, so.
No, she's not a tiefling.
No.
It's tiefling fashion.
Oh well, you literally just said tiefling, so that's why I was like, oh,
yeah,
that's the one.
It's this one.
I thought you said that was for a sci-fi campaign, so.
Yeah, that was.
That's the correct one.
Right. So one other thing you would notice is there's kind of like this arcane aura around her, as best I can describe it. You only see it like every now and then. It kind of like shimmers of light.
Yeah,
but there's
like captures the light.
There's clearly like magical like shit going on like in her immediate like surrounding area.
Sure.
Like almost like not quite like a liquid, but like
Gilwyn would
tangible.
be I think Gilwyn and Sid would be the ones that notice that. Melody maybe.
Like iridescent
would
color.
certainly be looking around.
Melody would
in
notice
all
it but
which
wouldn't
she does.
understand it. But like
I can
Gilwyn.
smell it.
Yeah, you can.
I think I would look up at you and go. I like it now that like kind of like it caught my attention or whatever. Because I got the 14. I'd be like, Amelia.
Would I even remember like this person? I guess.
Up to you.
Remember we knew each other from before.
I wasn't sure if we were doing that or not. I
Yeah.
would say, oh, yeah, I remember you. Kind of. What's your name?
Sally, don't worry about it. You can call me Sid. Don't worry about it. It's I just got a pretty decent memory in this old noggin of there. How you doing?
Fine. Picking up
Are
some
you the
bodyguard
one that's
work.
supposed to be traveling with us?
It's probably this one.
The halfling kind of like snaps back and is like,
I will be
"Oh, who's all this? Who are you? The people that Leo's sending?"
Yes, we are. We are the people that Leo has sent. We are here to take you to Lichvale. Like as he's saying this, his eyes like flicker over to the other person at the table a couple times, and then he focuses back and he's like, focus on that.
She's just like, "Oh, good. When are we going?"
As soon as we can, I believe. We are happy to go.
Oh, what a coincidence! I just ordered a really big tea, and I've only got a small stomach. Go sit down.
It's always time for tea.
Indeed, with milk.
I hope you don't mind my bodyguard comes with me.
Bodyguard?
If you don't mind me inquiring, it gives the bodyguard a glance.
Inquiring about what?
Why do you require our assistance if you have a bodyguard?
Leo thought it would be a good idea.
I see.
And I think her specialty is in protecting people, not, fighting bandits.
Sure, that falls under the umbrella of protecting people.
She kind of like looks at Amelia like, does it? That's not what you said.
No, my magic is great at warding off magical creatures. Bandits not so much.
Oh.
I see. Well, swords are... And he looks at swords are good for that.
Well, you'll soon come to realise that, and I'll put one of my hands on Vale's shoulders. He's quite magical.
Oh, really? Is he a wizard?
No,
but he's quite enchanting.
Is he a sorcerer?
No, I'm a swordsman, a duelist.
A spell sword? Do you infuse your sword with magical energy?
That's kind of my job.
Yeah.
Oh.
Salmi
Okay.
does it for me.
She kind of like just turns and just starts eating again. And if no one else sits and joins her, she'll just be eating for a while.
I'll sit down and have a cup of tea, absolutely.
Yeah,
Amelia would kind of like sigh and like probably like sit down, have a bite.
Melody, Sid, come on.
Melody?
Tea.
Yes, Melody joins them awkwardly because
Melody like doesn't even fit in the chairs.
Yeah.
She's just big.
Can Vale go ahead and... So he's noticed Amelia now. Can he go ahead and roll an insight? Because half-elves usually don't look quite so pale, quite so white-haired. And obviously he's aware of the other half of the elder race.
Mm-hmm. Sure, you can do an insight. It's more going to be about like kind of who this person is.
Yeah. She's not the standard half elf.
She looks a little weird, but also not that weird. Half elves kind of have like a bit of a randomization to them, as a lot of half bloods do.
Say it's pretty rude.
But she's not saying it out loud. I don't know, what is the main sort of emotion and tone that he would get off Amelia, Aaron?
I mean, she's pretty cold and quiet right now. She seems a little bit annoyed that we're all just sitting around.
That's kind of what you pick up, and you're like, that could be anything.
That doesn't help with the nerves. Oh boy, she's annoying.
Stop staring.
I can't help it. She's annoyed. Look at her.
Oh golly, this is going to be interesting. How long are we supposed to be traveling with the two of you?
I'm going to Lichvale.
My apologies. I don't really pay much attention when on the road, so I don't remember how far that is. A few weeks.
Yeah. 3 weeks, they say. A few weeks.
Well, all I have to say is Vale. Remember that thing I gave you?
No, it's not for. I was going to ask. That's for later.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Do you have anything for now?
Excuse me 1 second. We're at a tavern or whatever, right?
You're in a hotel restaurant.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought. Yeah. I'm like, can I get a bottle of some strong liquor, please?
Like, there's not even like a hesitation, and they just go over and they give it, and they don't even ask for money, assumingly it's going on her tab.
Oh, okay. I pop the bottle and hand it to him.
I see.
That, my friend, is called liquid courage. It's one of the oldest inventions.
It's tea time, Vale.
It's not the time to drink. I like drinking as much as anyone else, but it's not the time to drink right now. It's too early.
No.
Kim, how long are we planning on staying here?
Well, until my tea is done, I think.
Let me just pop the cork back in. I will now go and visit the gentleman's room. He leaves with the bottle, just very obviously, into the bathroom.
And drinks.
And he comes back out with the bottle, but there is an amount missing.
I said to Sid, almost 4 months of role-playing, and that's the result.
Man. You know what? Is there something I could do? No, I don't think I can do it in this scenario. I can't even do it now. It has to be later.
So, unless there's any other conversations they're going to have after maybe like 30 minutes, tea is polished off. Awkward silence, and then like this halfling and Vale eating.
Also, there's probably Melody's probably like slurping and making horrible
like has a cup of tea, is like
yeah. Like
I mean, she hasn't been kicked out
yet,
of the
teacup out the way.
There's definitely people looking at you like, but they also know she's leaving, so they kind of just like, she'll leave eventually. But when that's done, she does some stuff. She literally like writes a check, and then is like, and sort of brushes off. She's wearing like a bit of an apron, even though she's like not on duty or not working as a chef right now. You do notice that, like, when she sort of, like, picks up her bag, there is, like, a pan hanging off the side, and the pan has a dent that seems like would be from a head. Where she's like, then, group of adventurers, I guess if there's nothing else, then we should probably be off out of the city, then. Right?
Yeah, if we don't have anything else to do, Vale?
We need to get our horses on the way out, that's all.
Oh, yeah.
I just need to grab a couple of supplies from a nearby market to make sure that we are good to go with things that I'm working on in the meanwhile. But we should definitely be ready by morning, the latest. Were we looking to spend one more night or head out sooner?
No, let's go sooner. Should we say we will meet at the South Gate in an hour?
Can you give me 2?
Sally, come on.
90 minutes.
Work with me here.
90 minutes, okay?
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought I would get a whetstone to make sure that your blade was sharp and perhaps some components to keep the magic on it, fresh. But if I need a rush, I might forget a thing or two. It's not a problem.
It's fine. That extra gold in your pocket will help you run faster.
Most certainly will. And I'll get down off my chair and walk away. I'll just go now. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
she kind of like watches and is like, well, then are we going to go to the south gate then?
Yes, we can pick up our horses on the way, and we will meet Salni there shortly.
Are you ladies riding by horseback? Do you have a carriage?
Oh, no.
I see.
Ah.
You
Well,
know,
I suppose we
the
can-
halfling way is to walk.
We can walk alongside. It is fine.
What you would
Galleon
probably do is you'd have your horses just carrying your random shit.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
you're walking, and it's way easier to
Yeah,
travel.
you just
Um,
leave your backpack on your saddle.
Yeah,
So we
basically.
bought horses and we're gonna walk? Is that what I'm saying?
Think about it this way. Galleon will love a walk. Not with me on his back being all heavy. You know?
Yeah,
It's
but
nice rest for them. He's already pissed I left him on the mountain overnight.
Oh yeah, that's true.
His horse is pissed at him. Like, you go to get him from the stables, and he's like...
He just gives me a look.
he's like cat pissed. He's like just passive aggressive.
Does anyone remember, has Melody met Ampersand and
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
She would probably get along with them better than you do, to be honest.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was thinking.
She can talk to them if she wants to.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so you go and get that. Kim would probably be talking a little bit to him. Like her and Amelia would be traveling just like a bit behind you, and like when
Amelia
you're going into the saddle.
would have like half joke like, yeah, I should have asked to get paid by the day.
Well, you know, that's not really how things work. I mean, you know, if we get paid by the day and get into some trouble, that would be, you know, take longer, wouldn't it? But you know, I'm not the one paying you.
It's true.
So, Amelia, how did you end up being a bodyguard? You clearly are of arcane intellect. It seems a bit of a strange profession.
It's what I'm good at.
Yes, apparently. That's why you need 4 other people to help you. Anyway, where's Salni
I'm not being
got
paid
to?
to protect you.
Well,
That's a good point, Amelia. Very good
Indeed.
point. Vale, shut your mouth.
And you walk quietly to the south gate. Sid, what are you getting? What are you buying? What are you selling?
I used a lot of stuff for my leatherworking kit and stuff like that. It's more or less just making sure that I go and resupply on anything that the DM thinks I might need to continue
it's
on.
a lot of salt.
A lot of salt.
I use my components for all my enchantments and everything. It's just one of those things where I don't want to be knocked for not saying that. I
No, yeah,
resupply.
you go and you resupply. There's absolutely no problem. You spend like
And a couple pints of milk.
a couple of
for
pints
those.
of milk. You probably spend like 5 gold
Couple
altogether because Sid is the
sausages.
kind of person who gets like backups of things and
A wet stone,
high quality versions
sword
of
oil.
things. Whetstone sword oil.
Yep.
You know,
Awesome.
all that stuff. So you can go and meet them at the south gate after a little while. When you actually entered the city, it wasn't through the south gate. The south gate is in the human district, which, you know, old Gilwyn will find pretty comfortable. Because it's almost like home, but not quite. And also, there's not a huge like refugee town by this gate. It's just fields. More accurately, hills.
If it was the case that it is like home, I would look a little uncomfortable, actually, I think.
Gilwyn, give me a perception check.
Okay. Perception?
Oh, I like that.
You notice a faded poster to Gallagher the human harp. On like a bard, on like a tavern wall.
I'll go tear it down.
Ooh, dramatic. Gilwyn's got daddy issues, ladies and gentlemen.
I don't know if Gil was still holding Melody's hand, but if he wasn't, Melody would go up to him and sort of grab it, like noticing his discomfort,
Aww.
and just look at him
Go
worriedly.
and eat the poster and be like, that poster, God.
The only way to get rid of things, eat them. So Sid probably like totters by with his bag like noticeably full and like there's pouches and a couple of just things. He probably jangles a little bit as he heads there. You two have got your horses. Melody is holding Gilwyn's hand and Kim is there and Amelia's just sort of looking sour. So you will meet back up and I imagine you start leaving, right?
Yep. I'll pop my backpack and I'll offer Salni to pop his backpack onto Galleon's saddlebags.
Oh, yeah,
awesome.
hold on. Clink.
What did you
Jingle,
put in
jingle.
here?
And I'll do likewise with Amelia and Melody and Kim.
I actually really
Melody
don't
would
have
hold
much
on
on
to
me,
her stuff.
like in way of bag or
Okay.
anything.
Yeah, you're like, your bags, milady, and she's like, she's got like her book and like a coin purse.
Ampersand, you're travelling light. Let's do this.
Ampersand is happy
to
about
try and
it.
sort of
Galleon's
ta-
been sway-backed by Sammy's heavy.
Walking on 2 legs.
What the fuck?
It's too heavy. It's like pulling him back.
Okay.
It was the horse walking.
It was the
like-
motion. It doesn't. Okay.
How else would a horse
walking like
walk?
an Egyptian.
How else would a horse walk? With depression and a scotch in one hand, from my experience.
Yeah, wow.
Anyway, so you start leaving, and as most big cities, the first like a little bit of travel, probably like the first day of travel, is through satellite towns and farms and things, which are like vaguely interesting. Quite a few of them here are like clearly mining towns in the very sharp hill walls. And so you probably end up spending the first night in a tavern. Don't worry about it. I'll end up like charging you for however long the stay is, or you're traveling with the cost of food and stuff at the end. But then you start going down. I mean, this is actually a main road. It's a main road out of Northern, very well signposted, pretty well maintained. You get other people traveling back down it, and it's quite easy to travel down. You start going down somewhere called the Valley of Broken Hearts, which is along the main road. Do you inquire about its name to like the random people? You're like, well, we're trying to go down this Dalitch trail. Like, he's like, oh, you go down the Valley of Broken Hearts.
I'll do this instead.
You'll do this instead. I'm waiting.
What instead?
I assume he did a history roll.
Yeah.
It's not happened.
I'm seeing no roll.
Try again.
Is it really not happened
It's
yet?
not happened yet.
Absorbed in my apple then. Then I
Oh,
heard
17.
like someone being like, I'll do this. And then I like saw everyone waiting and I was like, oh god, they waited for me.
He was so into a crisp apple. Someone else just
Or was
roll
it-
something real quick.
Did that not roll for
It
you?
didn't
Oh,
roll. Yep, it
Did
works.
anybody else see the 17 or no?
No,
No.
roll it again.
You channel.
Really? It's a 17.
I roll it again.
No, I like a 17.
Well, you know, even if you don't roll, Aaron knows what's up.
Yeah.
I think your
No,
client's
it's a
just.
15. It
I
went
think your
down by
client's just broken. I would reload because your rolls aren't happening.
two. My rolls aren't happening, really.
Yeah,
okay,
you're
I'll-
not-
Amelia, you can
Actually, yeah,
explain.
he's not. Oh no, he's
Oh, there they are.
It's come up.
Amelia, you can explain. Probably like you looked up the area and you did a route. It's just a name. Apparently, it's a very nice place. Apparently, one of the rivers flowing out of Northern flows down this valley and creates a very lush, like, grove where lots of farming can go on, lots of forests and stuff. And you think the name might be loosely connected to a bandit troop, but you're not sure if the bandit troop took the name of the valley or the valley took the name of the bandit troop. So
Name of
there's
the valley?
something connected.
What's the name of
The
the
name's
valley?
irrelevant.
The valley is named the Valley of Broken Hearts. And the bandit troop are called the Heartbreakers. So
Didn't we meet in Porttown?
you, Neil, have met the Heartbreakers before. No one else has. In
That just
other
makes me
games.
think of Heartbreaker. Just makes me think of Coco.
Yes.
Tried to
but
give them all
this is
horrible,
first.
horrible diarrhea.
Y-
We
literally,
succeeded.
one of the first quests of our first D&D game with Neil, he had to get rid of these bandits, and they ended up making a diarrhea concoction, and it worked.
It works, but my cleric burnt down buildings with
She was a
children-
cleric of like the
children in them.
Devourer.
She was still
children in them. We were like, oh my god, you just killed children.
But anyway, this valley is supposedly a lovely place and quite a nice walk. You also probably can start explaining while you're traveling that Northern, unlike a lot of places like in the Elven lands or Goldport, doesn't have a huge military presence in their lands. And actually, a settlement you're about to come to in a couple of days is the edge of like Northern military. The Northern country goes quite a deal further, but after a couple more days of travel, you come to a village named Rofadar, which is literally like the last keep of Northern's military, and you can tell there's like a bit of a military patrol here.
Okay.
So you easily travel down this route. You meet quite a lot of other travelers. It is exactly as you described. It's quite... it's very beautiful, lots of trees. You follow alongside... The road is like alongside the river. A couple of boats go down it, but like more like houseboats than like proper sailing ships, you know? And eventually you do end up in this village of Rofadar, and you're glad, because, you know, you're always glad after a couple of days of walking to stay in a tavern. Kim has been lovely the whole time. She, of course, actually talks more to Amelia than before because they've spent a couple of days getting to know each other. But, you know, if you ask her questions, she has a little bit of a chat with you. If you're sitting around a fire at the end of the day, she will have a stop and have a little bit of a chat with you. And that's absolutely fine. So after a few days, we end up in the village of Rofadar, which is, just like most Northampton affair, it is a kind of hybrid dwarven and human settlement. Fairly nice village. It's one of the ones where it is almost wood elven in a way that, like, it's built into the forest slightly, but then there's a very big, very destructive mine, which is you kind of see and you're like, oh, that's not very subtle. But yeah, imagine you stop there, but I don't think you need to pick up anything. I think you can just straight up keep on traveling.
Just need to check rations.
I'll charge you for rations at the end. It's way easier. You're stopping in a bunch of villages.
Yeah, I'm fine. With
and Melody can supply food for 5 people a day anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, if you want to be eating via Melody, that's absolutely okay. I'll tell you right now, Kim won't. She'll do it
Melody
once.
will definitely be eating.
Well, even if she has like a good berry or whatever, she wants rations.
Well, that's her prerogative.
Because she's a halfling.
We're there to take her, not to feed her.
Yeah, she has food on her, and she cooks. So.
Oh, well.
One thing I will do while we're on the road and we stop for camp for the night, you will see me. I will, if I can, just take hours and ward the entire area where we make camp.
Yeah, when you're making camp in the outside, she does a bunch of warding rituals.
Also, I will point out that when Melody comes back with food, she wouldn't actually offer any to Amelia and Kim unless prompted by someone else.
That's funny. Oh, I for a second I thought you had good berries, but no, you literally just go out and hunt.
No.
Yeah,
I go out and hunt.
Yeah.
Well, which is fine, because then you actually don't need to worry about those lots of food. So I guess Amelia and Kim are the ones who are.
Well, I mean, as I say, if she's not prompted, so.
I don't know. Do you make her be polite?
Pick out the best bits. He's like, oh yeah, those berries are good. Oh yeah, that beetle's good. Great. Yeah, you could offer to them if you want.
If he phrases it like that, she doesn't.
Kim wouldn't necessarily notice.
so absorbed in the work that he's doing again, he doesn't even notice this is happening, so he doesn't offer either.
Amelia would be the one who notices that she goes and hunts food and doesn't give you any. Whether or not she comments
Amelia
on it.
wouldn't want it, wouldn't care.
It's weird hunted food.
Right.
Cool.
I don't trust that. I don't know where she got it from.
Gil, this roach she found. They are very nice. Little bit spicy.
Now you're starting to eat bugs. Good. Actually, go ahead and give me a nature roll, Old Melody. You can forage, absolutely. I just want to know if you find something.
I don't think any culture eats roaches.
Wouldn't it be survival rather than nature, please?
I'll allow it. I did want nature, so I'm going to be unhappy about it, but I am going to let you do it.
Okay, fine. I'll give you nature.
Just spam chat with
Way!
Oh no.
Oh.
So you know what you do? You know what you do?
Doo-doo.
Voodoo is all too...
You do find what I was looking for. Unfortunately, it has adverse effects. You find a food that you don't know the name of. It is a kind of herb, and you actually find a lot of it in this area. And you're probably like picking a lot of it. Anyone who wants to do a nature check to find out what this is as she starts cooking it into food, you absolutely can. I will tell you right now, it'll not be great. It'll be the day before you get into this village. You can. This is going on.
Great.
It's not surprising that Gilwyn doesn't know. Sid can make the check, and Vale can make the check, and Amelia can make the check, because she's watching.
Sure.
Vale's actually, like, he just trusts Melody on this one, that Melody's feeding him the good stuff. He's not had a bad experience yet, so he's like, oh, good job, Melody.
Oh, Sid, you know what that is, and you think, oh, good for her for eating this. It's a food called goblin ear. Not because but because goblins really like spicy food. And in fact, there's actually a thing in goblin culture where occasionally, like, you have to eat really spicy food to prove your strength. And this is the maximum spice.
The requisite strength to prove their strength.
They don't have to prove their strength, so this is how they do it. And goblin ear is like one of the spiciest things in the world. And Melody just like mixes it with all the stuff because she like hunts and then cooks like rudimentary meals, right? So she mixes it into this meal. Sid, do you eat it knowing that?
Hold on. Gil, how much milk did you buy?
How much milk did I buy?
Yeah, you said you were grabbing a nice tub of milk to bring for your tea.
I didn't buy it. I wanted you to buy the milk.
You wanted me to get it, so you didn't get any milk?
I got no milk.
Do you have any sugar?
Maybe a bit in my component pouch, but...
Do you mind if I have some sugar?
You want a cup of sugar?
Neighbor, can I borrow a cup of sugar?
Yeah, sure.
All right, thanks.
There you go.
I'm going to take the sugar. I'm going to wait until she serves the meal, and I'm going to sprinkle the sugar like all over my meal to bring down the heat a considerable amount.
So you just don't warn them.
I will cautiously eat mine with my lips, pulled up. So I'm just like eating it with my mouth and tongue and not getting it on my lips. And I'm going to intentionally not touch the food with my hands and be very cautious about it. But I just assume everybody else knows.
Yeah, because you're Sid. And none of you noticed that he's eating particularly like weirder than normal because he's Sid. Like sometimes he's like tinkering on something and just like pours a bowl of food into his mouth because he was busy doing what he's doing. So he's eating really weird. It's like a little bit later into the night where the adverse effect. Well, I mean, you don't notice it's super spicy until you've like eaten a good deal of it, and then the heat, like it's a creeper. It hits you so hot. This is like ghost pepper kind of heat. It's painful. You immediately feel sick. Now, Sid, Kim, and Amelia are fine. Sid ate it, but was like smart. Amelia didn't eat it. Kim didn't eat it. You three having a bit of a spicy day.
A bit of a spicy night.
Bit of a spicy night. So, to put it quite simply, by the time you make it into the town the next day, you have a point of exhaustion. You are all feeling a little empty, so we speak.
I'm not able to enter trance on the toilet.
That's probably a question that's in like an old 3.5 book that I don't need to know the answer for. But I'm very sure it doesn't matter because you don't want to do much in this town anyway. You just want to keep on traveling, right? Maybe now you do buy some milk.
Yeah.
You buy for like a couple of copper and buy like a bunch of milk. Like, this time I got milk, just in case.
Also going to see whether there's a book on plants, herbs.
Go ahead and give me an investigation roll.
Hanging about.
Go check that. This isn't the hugest village in the world. It does have a general store. So go ahead and give an investigation roll. It might be in there.
Oh, no.
Nah, you poke around the town a little longer than maybe like, oh, just hold up, why don't we look around and stuff. But nah, you probably sleep in the tavern for the night and have a general good time. And then you keep on your lovely travels. But we'll talk about your travels more after a quick little break. Hey, we got the new character in. Almost didn't get that. And she's Amelia.
You be nice, my characters.
I like your characters. It's just funny because like she doesn't trust them. They don't trust her. Yeah, it's great. Anyway, we'll be back after these messages.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da-dum.